happy story, but I'm not here for advice, just needed to put this somewhere. And honestly, I want people to see how some family really acts. Buckle up, I guess. So, background, I'm Lucas, 27, not some kid, but I left home at like 20 for what was supposed to be a short thing, turned into way long. Yeah, kept in touch at first. Family's always been super energy obsessed. My mom's whole thing. She's into crystals, yoga, the whole manifest good vibes routine. You get me. Not much of a hugger, but whatever. I got used to it. My stepdad Todd was always a background guy, just did his own thing. But after he married my mom, suddenly every convo had to be about protecting peace. My stepsister Maya, she's like 21 now, always glued to her phone, basically acted like I was invisible after I moved out. I sent money home for a while, like groceries, paid half the phone bill, covered some repairs when stuff broke. Nothing crazy, but I figured that's just what you do. Calls got less frequent, but I always let them know when I was coming back, even if it was just a couple weeks' notice. This time I texted, called, emailed, got a thumbs up emoji from Maya. Nothing from Mom. Todd just wrote, "Sounds good." Cool, right? So after all this time I get back. It's like late, like almost midnight, but the flight was delayed. Nothing I could do. I'm standing outside the house with my old duffel bag and a carry-on. And literally, the first thing I notice is my name written on a sign taped to a suitcase just sitting on the porch, not even under the awning. So it's got rain splatters. I'm not dramatic, but I stood there a sec trying to figure out if I was at the wrong place. The porch light was off, which was weird because they always left it on for energy flow or whatever. I ring the bell. No answer. I knock. Nothing. I fumble for my phone and text Maya. "Hey, I'm here." Get a read receipt. No reply. After a minute, I just try the door. It's unlocked. I go in, and the house smells like incense and lemon cleaner, which is new. The lights are on in the kitchen, and Todd is there, just scrolling his phone at the table, like I'm an Amazon driver dropping off junk. I say, "Hey." He glances up, says, "Your stuff's outside. We're full up." Not even a welcome back or "How was the trip?" Literally just that. I don't even know what to say, so I just stand there waiting for someone else to show up. Maya walks out, looks at her phone, barely glances at me, just says, "Mom's upstairs. She wanted you to see her before you go." Like I'm a UPS package or something. Todd just keeps scrolling. So I go up the stairs to my old room. I can't even lie, I was kind of nervous. IDKY just felt off. I get to my door, and there's a handwritten sign taped over my old Keep Out poster. It says, in my mom's handwriting, "Storage room, no access." Like all caps, underlined twice. I try the handle, it's locked. I knock. Nothing. Mom comes out of her room, robe on, hair wrapped up, barely looks at me. She holds out a little envelope like one of those you get at a hotel. Says, "Here's your voucher. You'll have to stay at the Cedar Lodge tonight. We moved on. We don't need your issues poisoning the energy in this house." She's not even mad, just like tired. Like I'm a problem to be solved. I ask, "Can I at least see my room?" And she just says, "It's a storage space now. You can't bring your negativity in here. It took years to get the house peaceful. You've been gone for years, Lucas. We moved on. Don't make this harder." Then she turns around and walks back into her room, door shut. I hear it click. I stand there for a second like, I don't even know what to do. I knock again, nothing. I ask, "Can I get some of my stuff?" Nothing. Maya comes up the stairs, steps around me like I'm blocking the hall, says, "You're making this weird." She pushes past, slams her door. I just stand there for a second, staring at the sign. I go back downstairs. Todd hasn't moved. I ask if I can just crash on the couch for the night, and he says, "No, that's where I do my stretching in the morning. Legit, that's it." I ask what happened to my room. He says, "Storage." I ask if my stuff's still there. He says, "We gave you what you need." I ask what that even means. He shrugs. Then he gets up, grabs his water bottle, walks past me to the garage. Door slams. I hear it lock, so I'm standing in the kitchen, lights too bright, my bag outside in the wet, holding a motel voucher and feeling like I'm some random guy who just wandered into the wrong house. I grab my bag, check that nothing's missing, can't even tell I was so tired, and walk off the porch. I look back, and the light goes out. Like, immediately. Not even subtle. I get to the motel, check in. The lady at the desk doesn't even ask for ID because apparently my mom called ahead and told them I'd be coming. So I guess they planned this. That's the night, I guess. I keep replaying it in my head thinking I missed some sign, but nah. It's just how they are now. Mom's been on this high vibes only thing for years, and I think she just decided anyone who doesn't 100% buy in is bad energy. Todd never liked me much, TBH, always wanted his own space, and I guess now he has it. Maya's just, I don't even know, she's in her own world. They always acted like I was too much when I was a kid, so I'm not shocked, just IDK, not like this. I texted a couple friends from high school. No one even lives in town anymore, so I just crashed at the motel. Next morning, I tried to go back to ask for my stuff, but I'll get to that in another post because that's a whole other can of worms, and honestly, this is already way too long. Not sure what I'm supposed to do now, but I'm not just letting this go. FR, not after that. I'm not going to sit around and mope. That's not me. If they want to play cold, I can play colder. I'll update once I get my head straight and figure out what comes next. Update 1. All right. So I said I'd update, and yeah, it's been a couple days since I posted. TBH didn't sleep much at the motel, kept waking up trying to figure out if I'm just overreacting or if this is as messed up as it feels. I know Reddit's got all kinds of stories on here, but FR, this is just what happened. You can decide if it's insane or just regular family stuff now. I'll try not to ramble. So the next morning after the porch incident, I head back to the house. I'm telling myself maybe they were just tired. Maybe it was the time. Maybe if I'm chill, they'll open the door and we'll talk. IDK. I get there and the car's gone. So I figure they're out, but I knock anyway. Nothing. Then I check the side gate and it's open, which is weird because my mom is nuts about boundaries. I walk around back and look through the kitchen window. Someone's moving around inside. It's Maya, headphones in, on her laptop at the table. I tap the glass. She ignores me. I stand there like an idiot for a sec and then just let myself in because, I still had a key. Still fits. Maya looks up, takes off her headphones, says I should have texted first. I say I did. She says she was busy. Then she gets up and leaves the kitchen, just like that, and I hear her go upstairs. I start to follow, but then Todd comes in from the garage. He's got a yoga mat under his arm, wearing socks with sandals, which is so him, it's funny, except not. Sees me, stops. Just stares for a sec like he's expecting me to apologize. I ask if I can get into my room. He says it's not my room anymore, it's storage, and I should take what's mine and go. I ask if I can at least look. He says no, then adds that mom doesn't want disruptions, and that I should respect her wishes. I ask what happened to all my stuff. He says it's boxed up, and points to the garage. So yeah, I go out there and there's like 3 boxes with my name written in Sharpie. I open them. There's random clothes, some old chargers, 1 photo album, and a couple books. That's it. I ask where my laptop is. He says Maya uses it now for college. I ask about my old phone, headphones, tablet. You get the idea. He just shrugs and says, "It's been years, Lucas. You basically left it all behind." I tell him that's not how it works, but he just walks away. Says he's got things to do. Doctor slams. I go back inside, try to talk to mom. She's upstairs, door closed. I knock. She says through the door that she's meditating. I say I just want to talk. She says she can talk later if I come back tomorrow with better intentions. I say I just want my stuff. She says I'm fixating, and that's why I don't fit the energy. I can hear her voice getting sharper every time I try, but she won't actually open the door. So I go back downstairs. Maya comes out of her room, sees me, rolls her eyes. I try to ask her about my stuff, and she goes off about how I can't just drop in and take over, how the house is finally calm since I've been gone, and how I never fit in anyway. She says I always made things tense, that mom's been happier, and that I should just move on like everyone else. I say I just want what's mine. She says, "It's just stuff, Lucas. You act like it's life or death." I can't even explain how wild it is to hear your own family talk like you're a random roommate who overstayed. Not even exaggerating. I go outside for air, sit on the steps, call my aunt. She lives a town over, used to be close. She picks up but basically just says she doesn't want to get in the middle. Tells me to let things settle, then changes the subject. So I start checking my accounts just to see what's up. And here's where it gets even messier. I notice a couple weird charges from the last few months like grocery delivery and household stuff, all billed to my old joint account with mom. I call the bank, ask about it, and the guy says the account's still active. My name's still on it, and someone's been using the card for autopay on like 5 different utilities. I lock the card right there. Not out of spite, just FR. That's my name, my money. And they never even asked. I text Maya about it. She just sends back a shrug emoji and says, "Ask mom." I text mom. She calls me petty and says I'm making things hostile. I tell her it's my money. She says, "We needed it. You weren't here. You never said not to." Then she blocks me. I'm livid at this point, not even gonna lie. I go back in. Todd's back at the table. I tell him I locked the card. He says I'm being dramatic, that they needed to keep the house running, that I abandoned them. I tell him he can't just steal from me. He says it's not stealing if it's family. I say, "Not anymore," and he stands up, gets right in my face, and says I need to leave. I refuse. He pushes past me, grabs my arm, tries to walk me out. I pull away, tell him don't touch me, and he snaps. Says I'm just like my dad, which is a whole other story, but yeah, not a compliment. I tell him to back off. He goes to the front door, opens it, tells me to get out before he calls the cops. I grab the boxes, and on the way out, I slam the door so hard it rattles the glass. I hear Maya yell something upstairs, but I don't catch it. So now I've got 3 boxes, no laptop, half my stuff missing, my money drained, and my own family acting like I'm the villain for wanting literally basic respect. I call the bank again, set new password, lock every account, change all my info. I check the house record, because yeah, I helped buy it back in the day, and my name's still on paperwork. Guess they needed my credit to refinance. They never told me, not even a text. Just used my info and figured I'd never check. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm not just letting this slide. I'm not going to blow up or do something illegal, but if they want to treat me like an outsider, I can play that game better than them. I'm already talking to someone about what to do with my share of the house, and if they think I'm just going to fade away, they're about to get a real wake-up call. They don't want me in their lives? Fine. Let's see how they do without my bad energy and my name on their bill. I'll update again once I figure out my next step. But trust, I'm not just walking away from them. They want a peaceful house. They're about to find out what real disruption feels like. Update 2. So this is where stuff really went from family drama to, like, actual rage. I'm not even trying to be dramatic, just straight up, this is what happened. First thing, I keep thinking about how Maya just shrugged off that I was missing half my stuff, and how Todd acted like I was some squatter, and the way my mom's voice just went cold as soon as I talked about anything other than good vibes. But I couldn't shake this one thing. Why was my name still on all the bills? Why was my credit still getting pinged from their address? I figured they'd have at least tried to take me off if they hated me so much, right? So I start digging. Spent a couple hours on the phone, calling the power company, the bank, the insurance, all that. I'm on hold forever, but I get through. Turns out, not only is my name on the utilities, but I'm still part owner on the actual house deed, like my name. Not just co-signer, not just, oh, we helped out, but literally still on the title. I remember helping with the down payment, but I figured they'd have refinanced ages ago. Except, nope, they didn't. Guess they needed my credit to get approved and just left it. I check my email and see a notice about property taxes. I click through, and yeah, bills in my name and my mom's. I'm not even living there, and I'm still on the hook, so now I'm not just mad. I'm like, what else did they use my info for? I check my credit report, and sure enough, there's a couple things I don't recognize tied to that address. Nothing that'll totally tank me, but enough to piss me off. I text my mom about it, and she calls me. Voice all fake calm. Says I'm overreacting. Says it's not personal, and that I never said to take me off. And besides, we needed it to keep things going. I tell her that's not how this works. And she just keeps repeating that I left them, and now I'm making things hostile. I say, you literally kicked me out, and she just sighs and says I always bring drama. I hang up. So I call a realtor. Not even kidding, I just Google one that's got good reviews. Set up a meeting downtown. I tell him I'm on the deed but don't live there. Want to know my options? He says, if you want out, you can force a sale, or you can make them buy you out. I'm like, good, let's start the process. He asks if I want to give them a heads up. I say, yeah, I'll give them a chance to talk to me like adults. So I go back to the house, knock on the door. Todd answers, just glares at me. Doesn't even move to let me in. I say I need to talk. He says I can talk from the porch. I tell him I know about the deed, the bills, the taxes, all of it, and that I'm not going to keep being used. I say they have 2 options, buy me out, or I force a sale. He goes red, actually steps out onto the porch, gets right up in my face, says I'm trying to ruin their lives, that I'm selfish, that I abandoned them, and now I want to take their home. I tell him, you're not going to guilt me. This is business now. He tries to block me from leaving, so I just push past him, and he grabs my shoulder and tries to shove me back. I tell him to get his hands off me, and he lets go, says if I try anything, he'll call the cops. I tell him, go ahead, I'm the owner too. As I'm walking away, I hear Maya at the window yelling at me that I'm toxic and that I'm ruining it. I just laugh and keep walking. Half an hour later, I get a call from my mom, voice shaky, trying to sound reasonable. Says we should work this out, that I don't understand the position I'm putting them in. I say, you put yourself here. She starts crying. Says I'm destroying the family. I tell her, you destroyed it the night you left my stuff on the porch. I go back to the realtor and tell him to move forward. He says he'll start paperwork, get the place appraised, and send the family notice. Within a day, I get a barrage of texts from Maya. All caps, stuff like, how could you? And mom's having a breakdown and you're just doing this for revenge. I don't even answer. Then Todd calls me. Says I'm making things worse for everyone. Says he'll sue me for abandonment of property, which isn't even a thing. I Google it. And threatens to make this ugly. I tell him, you already did. He hangs up. The next day, a notice goes up in the mailbox from the realtor. My mom calls me, voice trembling. Says they can't afford to buy me out. Can't move. Maya's in school. Everything will fall apart. I tell her, not my problem anymore. And the best part? When the realtor starts the process, it gets around to some of mom's wellness clients. She does like group classes in the living room. IDK never made sense to me. Word gets out that there's drama in the house. And suddenly she's posting all these vague Facebook statuses about family betrayal and bad energy poisoning the home. People start canceling. I see it because my cousin sends me screenshots, says the family chat is blowing up. My aunt texts me asking if it's true I'm selling the house. I just say, yeah, it's true. They left me no choice. So now the house is getting appraised. Realtors got the paperwork, and my family is panicking. Todd's stress posting about ungrateful kids on his socials. Maya's DMing me like I'm the villain in some TV show. And my mom is acting like I'm the one who broke everything. I'm not even mad at this point, just done. They wanted me gone. This is what gone looks like. No more free credit, no more bills in my name, no more bad energy to blame everything on. Now they're the ones feeling the heat. I'm not letting up until they actually face me for once instead of hiding behind energy and excuses. I'll update when the next shoe drops. If they thought they could just use me and lock the door, they seriously underestimated how far I'm willing to go. Final update. So I guess the weirdest part is how quiet everything gets right before people panic. Like, you can almost feel it through your phone. Zero text for a few days, then suddenly every app blows up. Missed calls, long paragraphs, caps lock apologies, all that. Nangle. I thought they'd put up more of a fight, but once the sales stuff started moving, it was like the whole family just snapped at once. The realtor puts the sign up out front, which I guess was the final straw. First text I get is from Maya, just a string of question marks, then a selfie of her crying, then another wall of text about how I'm ruining her life and she can't focus on finals. I leave it on read. Todd calls twice, then leaves a voicemail saying I'm not thinking clearly, that I'm tearing down everything they built, and that he's not afraid to take this to court. I just forward it to the realtor. My mom goes full wellness cult mode on me, like suddenly every message is about forgiveness, second chances, how the universe wants us to heal together. She's posting those fake deep quotes on Facebook and tagging me in all of them. Stuff about how family is forever unless you let anger win. I mute her. She texts again, says they can't afford to move, that her business is tanking, that people are gossiping about family troubles, and she's losing clients. I scroll through the messages, and it's honestly wild watching someone flip from stone cold to desperate in a week. Meanwhile, the group chat with aunts and cousins is blowing up with everyone picking sides. My aunt is half on my side, half just mad that now Thanksgiving is going to be awkward. My cousin sends me screenshots of Maya's rants on IG. Her whole bad energy drove my brother out thing, trying to make it sound like she's the victim. Whatever. But here's the thing. I'm not even mad anymore. I'm just done. I spent too long letting them walk over me and act like I was some ghost just floating around the house, only good for wiring money. Now they're actually feeling what it's like when the person holding up the bridge lets go. Not my problem if they can't swim. The day of the appraisal, Todd actually tries to block the door when the guy shows up, calls me, and says if I want to see real consequences, I should keep pushing. I tell him to let the appraiser in or I'll call the cops for interfering with a legal process. He backs off. I hear later from my cousin that mom's wellness friends are canceling sessions, and she started doing remote healing on Zoom because no one wants to come to the house. Maya's blowing up my phone with, "You're ruining my future," and "I can't believe you're this selfish." I block her. About 2 weeks after the sign goes up, I start getting messages from numbers I don't even have saved, like people from my mom's group, asking me to please reconsider for her sake. Not a chance. I get a DM from an old neighbor asking if it's true I'm kicking them out. I just reply, they kicked me out first, then block. Finally, after like a month of radio silence from me, my mom sends this mega text, basically a full essay, about how they didn't mean it, how she was just protecting her peace, how I was so angry when I came home she didn't know what to do. She says she's scared, that she'll do anything to make it right, that she misses her son. Then Todd tries to call, then Maya, then Aunt, then Mom again, all within an hour. It's just